The arrival, the vast emptiness of space, rippled like disturbed water as the colossal Starship New Terra emerged from hyperspace. Captain Elena Vasquez stood on the primary command bridge, her weathered hands gripping the rail as she watched. The stars shift from brilliant streaks back to steady points of light. After 2 centuries of continuous travel, they had finally reached their destination. "Jump completion successful, Captain," reported Dr. Marcus Chen from the navigation console. The chief scientist's voice carried a mix of excitement and exhaustion that perfectly captured the mood of everyone aboard. All systems showing green across the board. The New Terra is stable and ready for standard operations. Elena nodded, her dark eyes fixed on the massive viewscreen before them. The sight that greeted them was breathtaking. A brilliant yellow star, remarkably similar to Earth's sun, dominated the center of the display. 3 planets orbited within. The habitable zone, with the middle world showing the telltale blue and white swirls of water and atmosphere. "Kepler 4-5 to see," Elena whispered. Using the designation they had carried in their databases for 200 years, finally, the New Terra was not merely a starship in the traditional sense. It was a testament to human engineering and determination. A floating city that stretched nearly 100 kilometers in length and 50 kilometers in width. Within its titanium steel hull lived 5 million human souls, representing the largest single population movement in the history of any known species. The ship contained everything needed for a thriving civilization: residential districts, manufacturing centers, agricultural zones, universities, hospitals, and even natural parks with trees and lakes. "Captain," called out Commander Alex Torres from the tactical station, his military bearing evident even in the relaxed atmosphere of successful arrival. "Long-range sensors are picking up some interesting readings from the system. I'm detecting artificial structures on the second planet." Elena felt her heart skip a beat. "Artificial structures, yes ma'am. Definitely not natural formations. Geometric patterns, energy signatures, and what appears to be organized development across multiple continents." Dr. Chen quickly moved to his scientific instruments, his fingers dancing across the holographic controls. "Captain, I'm reading massive energy outputs from the planet's surface. These signatures are unlike anything in our databases. This level of power generation suggests a highly advanced civilization." The bridge fell silent as the implications sank in. They had traveled across the galaxy seeking a new home, only to discover that their chosen destination was already inhabited. "Are we detecting any space-based activity?" Elena asked, her voice steady despite the churning in her stomach. "Negative, Captain. No ships or stations in the immediate vicinity. Whatever civilization exists on that planet appears to be planet-bound." Admiral Sarah Kingston, the overall fleet commander, entered the bridge at that moment. Her silver hair was pulled back in a regulation bun, and her uniform bore the insignia of the United Earth Colonial Authority. "Captain Vasquez, I've been monitoring the situation from the command center. What's our assessment?" Elena turned to face her superior. "Admiral, we have confirmed the presence of an advanced civilization on Kepler 4-5 to see. They appear to be technologically sophisticated, based on their energy output, but we haven't detected any spacecraft." Admiral Kingston studied the tactical display for a long moment. "Recommendations: I suggest we maintain our current distance and attempt to establish communication protocols," Elena replied. "We need to understand their capabilities and intentions before making any moves." Dr. Chen looked up from his console. "Admiral, if I may, this is an extraordinary opportunity. First contact with an alien civilization is something humanity has dreamed about for centuries. We should approach this with scientific curiosity rather than caution. Commander Torres shifted uncomfortably. With respect, Doctor, we have 5 million civilians aboard this ship. Our first priority must be their safety. Agreed, Admiral Kingston said. But we also can't ignore the potential for peaceful contact. Captain, initiate long-range communication attempts. Use standard mathematical progressions and basic physics principles. If they're as advanced as our sensors suggest, they should recognize the patterns. Alina nodded. Dr. Chen, begin transmission protocols. Commander Torres, I want all defensive systems online, but powered down. We're not looking for a fight, but we need to be prepared. As the crew began their tasks, Alina found herself staring at the planet on the main screen. Somewhere down there, an entire civilization was going about their daily lives, completely unaware that 5 million humans had just arrived in their star system. The weight of responsibility pressed down on her shoulders like a physical force. Captain, Dr. Chen called out, his voice filled with excitement. I'm detecting movement. On the planet's surface, massive structures are there rising from the ground. The view screen shifted to show a magnified view of Kepler 4.5c. Across the planet's surface, enormous crystalline structures were emerging from what had appeared to be natural landforms. They rose like mountains, their surfaces gleaming with an inner light that pulsed in rhythmic patterns. Those aren't buildings, Alina breathed. They're ships. As they watched in amazement, the crystalline structures lifted away from the planet's surface, revealing themselves to be spacecraft of incredible size and beauty. They moved with a grace that seemed to defy physics, their forms shifting and changing as they ascended through the atmosphere. Captain, Commander Torres reported, his voice tight with tension. I count 47 alien vessels. They're heading directly toward us. Alina felt her mouth go dry. Each alien ship was roughly the size of a small city, dwarfed by the new Terra, but still massive by any reasonable standard. They moved in perfect formation, their crystalline hulls reflecting the light of the system's star. Admiral Alina said, turning to Kingston, they're not responding to our communications, but they're definitely coming to investigate us. Admiral Kingston studied the approaching fleet. How long until they reach us? At their current speed, approximately 6 hours. Torres replied, that gives us time to prepare, Kingston said. Captain, I want you to ready a diplomatic team. Select personnel who can represent humanity's best qualities. We need to make a good first impression. Alina nodded. Dr. Chen, I want you to prepare cultural and scientific information packages, basic mathematics, physics, chemistry, and an overview of human civilization. Commander Torres, select a security detail, but keep them discreet. We want to appear friendly, but not defenseless. As the hours passed, the alien fleet drew closer. The new Terra's sensors provided increasingly detailed scans of the approaching vessels. They were unlike anything in human experience, seeming to be grown rather than built. Their surfaces were smooth and organic, with patterns that shifted and changed like living tissue. Captain, Dr. Chen reported, I'm detecting some kind of scanning beam from the lead alien vessel. They're examining our whole structure, power systems, and internal layout. Can you tell what they're looking for? Alina asked. It appears to be a general survey. They're being thorough, but not invasive. I don't detect any attempt to penetrate our security systems or access our databases. Alina nodded. The aliens were curious but respectful, which was encouraging. "Captain," called out Lieutenant Maria Santos from the communications console. "We're receiving a transmission from the alien fleet. It's not in any language pattern we recognize, but there are mathematical elements embedded in the signal." Elena felt her heart race, put it through the translation matrix. The bridge filled with a sound unlike anything they had ever heard. It was musical, with harmonics that seemed to resonate in their bones. Beneath the alien melody, complex mathematical sequences pulsed in recognizable patterns. "They're trying to communicate," Dr. Chen said excitedly. "The mathematical sequences are based on universal constants, prime numbers, the golden ratio, basic physics equations." "Can you respond?" Elena asked. "I'm sending back the same mathematical sequences, but with additional complexity to show that we understand the concepts." The response was immediate. The alien music became more complex, and new mathematical patterns emerged from the transmission. "They're teaching us their language," Dr. Chen said in amazement. "They're starting with basic concepts and building up to more complex ideas." Elena watched as the alien fleet arranged itself in a perfect sphere around the new terror, maintaining a respectful distance. "They're not acting aggressively," she observed. "They're treating us as equals." Admiral Kingston nodded. "Captain, I think we're about to make history. Prepare for first contact." As the alien fleet settled into their formation, Elena couldn't help but feel a sense of awe. Humanity had traveled across the galaxy seeking a new home, and instead they had found neighbors. The future was uncertain, but it was filled with possibilities that none of them had dared to imagine. "All hands," Elena announced over the ship's communication system. "This is Captain Vasquez. We have made contact with an alien civilization. They appear to be peaceful and curious about our presence. We are about to embark on the most important diplomatic mission in human history. Remember that you represent not just yourselves, but all of humanity. Let's show them what we're made of." The bridge crew exchanged glances filled with excitement and determination. They had come seeking a new world, but they had found something far more valuable, proof that humanity was not alone in the universe, and that the future held infinite possibilities for cooperation and discovery. The exchange 3 days had passed, since the alien fleet had surrounded the new terror, and the communication efforts had made remarkable progress. Captain Elena Vasquez stood in the ship's newly designated diplomatic center, a spacious chamber that had been hastily converted from a cargo bay to accommodate the historic meeting about to take place. "Captain," Dr. Marcus Chen reported from his portable communication array, "the Nexari delegation has agreed to come aboard. Their leader, who translates his name as Ambassador Zarthik, will be accompanied by 2 others. Elena nodded, still marveling at how quickly they had managed to establish meaningful communication. The aliens, who called themselves the Nexari, had proven to be remarkably skilled linguists. Their mathematical approach to language had created a basic translation protocol within just 48 hours. "What do we know about their biology?" Elena asked Dr. Lisa Park, the ship's chief xenobiologist, who had been working round the clock to prepare for this moment. "They're silicon-based rather than carbon-based," Dr. Park replied, consulting her tablet. "Their crystalline structure allows them to interface directly with their technology. They don't need breathing apparatus in our atmosphere, and they can tolerate our environmental conditions. They're roughly humanoid in shape, but taller, averaging about 3 meters in height." Commander Alex Torres shifted uncomfortably. "Captain, I still think we should have more security personnel present." "Alex, we've been over this," Elena said patiently. The Nexari have shown nothing but curiosity and respect. Too much security might send the wrong message. Admiral Sarah Kingston entered the chamber, her expression mixing excitement with professional concern. "Captain, I've been monitoring the communications from Earth. The Colonial Authority is extremely interested in this development. They're asking for regular updates on our progress." Alina nodded. "Understood, Admiral. Though I imagine it will be quite some time before Earth receives our transmissions." "Indeed," Admiral Kingston agreed. "By the time they get our message about first contact, this meeting will be ancient history." A soft chime echoed through the chamber, indicating that the Nexari shuttle was approaching the New Terra's main docking bay. Alina felt her heart race as she realized the magnitude of what was about to happen. "Captain," came the voice of engineer James Rodriguez over the comm system. "The alien shuttle has docked successfully. Their vessel is ... remarkable, it appears to be grown rather than built, and it's interfacing directly with our docking systems without any physical connections." Alina exchanged glances with her team. "We're about to make history, people. Remember, we represent all of humanity." The diplomatic team made their way through the ship's corridors toward the docking bay. Word had spread quickly through the New Terra, and crowds of curious humans lined the windows and walkways, hoping to catch a glimpse of the alien visitors. Alina noticed that the excitement was infectious, with children pressing their faces against the glass and adults whispering excitedly to each other. The main docking bay had been configured to accommodate the alien delegation. The lighting had been adjusted to a spectrum that sensors indicated would be comfortable for the Nexari, and the temperature had been slightly raised to match their preferred environment. As the massive bay doors opened, Alina caught her first glimpse of the Nexari shuttle. It was beautiful in a way that took her breath away. The vessel seemed to be made of living crystal, its surface shifting through subtle color changes that created patterns of incredible complexity. It was organic, yet technological, alien, yet somehow familiar. A section of the shuttle's hull simply dissolved, creating an opening through which the Nexari delegation emerged. Ambassador Zarthik was the first to step onto the deck of the New Terra, and Alina found herself staring in wonder. The Nexari leader was tall and graceful, his body composed of what appeared to be living crystal. His surface reflected the bay's lighting in prismatic patterns, and his movements were fluid and purposeful. Behind him came two smaller Nexari, their crystalline forms equally beautiful and alien. "Ambassador Zarthik," Alina said, stepping forward. "I am Captain Alina Vasquez of the human vessel New Terra. Welcome aboard our ship." The ambassador's response came through the translation device that Dr. Chen had prepared. His voice was like music, with harmonics that seemed to resonate through the crystalline structure of his body. "Captain Elena Vasquez, I am honored to stand within your traveling world. We have never encountered a species that carries entire civilizations through the void between stars." Alina felt a surge of pride. "Thank you, Ambassador. We are honored to meet you and your people. Your technology is unlike anything we have ever seen." Ambassador Zarthik turned slowly, his multifaceted eyes taking in the details of the docking bay. "Your methods of construction are fascinating. You build with metals and composites, creating structures of great strength and complexity. We grow our vessels from living crystal, shaping them through harmony with natural forces." Dr. Chen stepped forward, his scientific excitement barely contained. "Ambassador, we would be honored to learn more about your technology. The way your ships interface with their environment suggests a level of technological integration that we have never achieved, and we are equally curious about your approach to civilization building, the ambassador replied. Our people live in harmony with our world, shaping it through our presence. But you humans have created a world that travels. This is a concept we have never encountered. Alina gestured toward the exit from the docking bay. Would you like to see our city, Ambassador? We have schools, hospitals, parks, and neighborhoods. Millions of people call the new Terra home. The ambassador's surface patterns shifted to brighter colors, which Alina had learned indicated excitement among the Nexari. We would be greatly honored. The tour began in the ship's central plaza, a vast open space that served as the heart of the new Terra's urban center. The area was bustling with activity as humans went about their daily lives. Children played in the parks while their parents worked in the shops and offices that lined the plaza's perimeter. Ambassador Zarthik stopped in the center of the plaza, his head turning as he took in the scene around him. This is not a ship, he said finally. This is a living city that travels between the stars. That's exactly what it is, Alina replied. We brought our entire civilization with us. Everyone you see here was born on this ship or chose to make it their home. One of the younger Nexori spoke rapidly in their musical language. Ambassador Zarthik listened before turning back to Alina. My companion asks how you maintain harmony among so many individuals. Our largest communities number in the thousands. Dr. Park stepped forward. We have complex social structures and governmental systems. We make decisions through democratic processes and ensure that everyone's needs are met through careful resource management. Democracy, the ambassador repeated, the translation device struggling with the concept. Decision-making through the will of the many rather than the wisdom of the few. Alina nodded. Every person aboard this ship has a voice in how we govern ourselves. It's not always efficient, but it ensures that everyone feels valued and heard. The tour continued through the ship's residential areas, where the Nexari delegation was amazed by the sight of human families living in apartments that would have been considered spacious by Earth standards. They visited the agricultural zones, where sophisticated hydroponic systems produced food for the entire population. You have brought an entire ecosystem with you, Ambassador Zarthik observed as they walked through one of the agricultural areas, plants, animals, even the microorganisms necessary for soil health. This is comprehensive biological preservation. Engineer Rodriguez joined them for this part of the tour. We couldn't leave Earth without bringing Earth with us, he explained. Every species aboard this ship serves a purpose in maintaining the ecological balance we need to survive. The ambassador's surface patterns shifted to deep, thoughtful colors. We Nexari shape our world through our presence, but we have never considered carrying our world with us. Your species has achieved something remarkable. They visited the ship's educational facilities, where human children were learning about mathematics, science, literature, and art. The Nexari delegation was particularly fascinated by the concept of formal education. You systematically pass knowledge from one generation to the next, Ambassador Zarthik observed. Among the Nexari, knowledge is shared through harmonic resonance. We experience the thoughts and memories of our elders directly. Dr. Chen's eyes lit up with interest. That's fascinating. Direct knowledge transfer would revolutionize human education. Perhaps, the ambassador said, but your method creates something we do not possess, innovation through individual interpretation. Each human student learns the same information, but understands it differently, leading to new ideas and discoveries. Alina felt a surge of pride in her species. That's one of humanity's greatest strengths. We see the same universe, but interpret it through millions of different perspectives. The tour concluded in the ship's observation deck, where massive windows provided a view of the surrounding space. The Nexari fleet was visible in the distance, their crystalline hulls gleaming in the light of Kepler-4, 5-C's star. Ambassador, Alina said as they looked out at the stars. We came here seeking a new home. We didn't know your people existed, and we don't want to intrude on your territory. Ambassador Zarthik's patterns shifted to warm, welcoming colors. Captain Vasquez, you misunderstand our nature. We are not territorial in the way you might expect. The Nexari have shaped our world to support both our civilization and the natural ecosystem. There is room for growth and change. What are you saying? Alina asked. I am saying that perhaps we have much to learn from each other. Your species has mastered the art of preservation and transportation of entire ecosystems. We have mastered the art of harmonious coexistence with our environment. Together, we might achieve something neither of us could accomplish alone. Admiral Kingston stepped forward. Ambassador, are you suggesting a formal alliance between our peoples? I am suggesting something more than alliance, the ambassador replied. I am suggesting partnership. Your people seek a new home, and we have a world that can support both our civilizations. But more than that, we have complementary technologies and philosophies that could benefit both species. Alina felt her heart racing. What kind of partnership? Your people could establish colonies on our world, bringing your expertise in ecosystem management and democratic governance. In return, we could share our knowledge of harmonic technology and environmental integration. Both our peoples would benefit from the exchange. Dr. Chen was practically vibrating with excitement. The scientific possibilities are endless. Imagine combining human engineering with Nexari bioharmonic technology. Alina looked around at her team, seeing the same excitement and possibility in their faces that she felt in her heart. Ambassador, this is a generous offer, but such a decision would require input from our entire population. Of course, Ambassador Zarthik replied. Among the Nexari, important decisions are made through harmonic consensus. We would not expect less from your people. Alina smiled, feeling a sense of hope that she hadn't experienced since leaving Earth. Then let's begin planning the future together. As the Nexari delegation prepared to return to their ships, Alina realized that humanity had achieved something extraordinary. They had not only found a new home, but had also found partners in their quest to build a better future. The universe was vast and full of possibilities, and for the first time in 200 years, Alina felt truly optimistic about what lay ahead. The meeting had been a success beyond their wildest dreams. Humanity had proven that their greatest strength was not their technology or their weapons, but their ability to adapt, learn, and cooperate. As the Nexari shuttle departed, Alina knew that this was just the beginning of an incredible journey that would benefit both species for generations to come. Asterisk.